when the wealthy billionaire Harrison Blake invited little Zara, only 8 years old, to play chess for fun. He assumed he was simply being generous to his maid's child. He had no clue he was standing at the edge of discovering a once-in-a-lifetime prodigy. Zara was never allowed to even touch the exquisite golden chessboard resting in the grand library of his mansion. But when the rich man noticed her eyes fixed on the shiny pieces with pure wonder, he decided to show her how to play. What followed stunned everyone. This quiet, shy girl didn't just learn how to play chess. She dismantled every opponent like it was second nature. Move after move, her mind operated like pure magic, spotting patterns even experienced players overlooked. Yet as the chess world whispered in awe about this extraordinary child, 2 questions began circling that would shift everything. Why did this billionaire take such interest in teaching the maid's little girl? And how come his cool gray eyes looked exactly like Zara's? Zara Thompson pressed her face gently against the chilly glass of the fancy car. Never before had she seen such a massive house. It reminded her of a fairy tale castle from the pages of her storybooks, with its towering white columns and sparkling windows that glittered under the sunlight. "Do you remember what I told you?" her mother Maria whispered softly, smoothing Zara's curly black hair. "Stay quiet and don't touch anything." Zara nodded. Staying quiet was her strength. At only 8 years old, she had already figured out that silence kept her away from trouble. The car finally stopped in front of the enormous mansion. Maria exhaled slowly, holding Zara's small hand tightly. "The babysitter got sick, sweetheart. I'm sorry you have to tag along with me today." "It's all right, Mama," Zara whispered, her voice gentle. "I brought my homework." They walked up the long driveway, Zara's eyes wide with amazement as she took in the breathtaking gardens and a beautiful fountain with stone angels. She had never seen anything so grand before. Inside the house, Zara's mouth dropped open. The ceiling stretched so high, she had to lean her head all the way back to spot the top. Sparkling chandelier dangled like a waterfall made of crystals. The floors gleamed with polished marble, so shiny they reflected everything like glass. "Stay close to me," Maria whispered, pulling along a cart filled with cleaning supplies. They entered a room overflowing with books from floor to ceiling. Zara had never imagined so many books in one place. At the center of the room sat a table, and on it, the most stunning thing Zara had ever laid eyes on, a chess set. But not like the cheap plastic one from school. These pieces resembled tiny golden and silver soldiers. The white ones gleamed like sunlight. The black ones sparkled like midnight. The board itself was marble with mirror-like squares. "Wow." Zara breathed, completely forgetting to stay silent. "Zara, come here," Maria called from across the room. "Sit at that little table and work on your homework.
Ow.
Don't touch anything." Zara sat down, opened her math book, but her gaze kept drifting back to the chess set. The shining pieces seemed to whisper to her. She recognized it as a chess set because her teacher once explained the basics during indoor recess. But she had never played an actual game. The king stood proudly in the middle. Beside him, the queen looked strong and important. The horses, no, knights, her teacher called them, looked ready to charge into battle. Even the small pieces, the pawns, seemed to carry quiet importance. "You like chess?" Zara jumped so hard her pencil flew across the room. Spinning around, she saw a tall man with gray hair and kind blue eyes. He wore a sharp, dark suit, but his expression was gentle. "I'm sorry, sir," Zara stammered, her heart pounding. "I wasn't touching anything, just looking." This had to be Mr. Harrison Blake, the mansion's owner, her mother had warned her. He was very rich and very important. Zara expected him to be scary, but he wasn't. "It's okay," Mr. Blake said warmly. "I was asking if you like chess." I don't really know how to play," Zara whispered. "My teacher showed us the pieces once, but I've never played for real." Maria hurried over, concern on her face. "I'm so sorry, Mr. Blake. Zara, come here right now. You shouldn't bother him." "She's not bothering me at all," Mr. Blake replied, still watching Zara. "Actually, I was just thinking this old house feels too quiet sometimes." "Would you like to learn chess, Zara, just for fun?" Zara looked at her mother, then back at Mr. Blake. Really? If your mom agrees." Maria twisted her hands together, nervous. "Mr. Blake, You don't have to. You must be. So busy, not too busy to teach a bright young lady chess. He smiled. So, what do you say, Zara? Her face lit up like it was Christmas morning. Yes, please. Mr. Blake sat opposite her at the chess table. Cupped close the pieces. Looked even more beautiful. As he explained how each piece moved, something incredible happened. Zara understood it instantly. More than that, she could see how they all connected. Like a puzzle falling into place. The pawn moves forward 1 square, Mr. Blake explained. Except for its first move, then it can go to squares. And it attacks sideways. Diagonal, Zara added, surprising herself. Mr. Blake's eyebrows lifted. Exactly, how'd you know that? I don't know. Just feels right, he continued explaining. Zara felt like she was learning a secret code. The chessboard wasn't just a game. It was a battlefield where every piece had a purpose. The knight moves in an L shape, Mr. Blake demonstrated. It's the only one that can leap over others. Zara nodded, already picturing sneaky ways to surprise enemies with the knight. Her mind whirred with possibilities. You're learning fast, Mr. Blake observed, studying her carefully. His expression held surprise and something else. A look that reminded Zara of her mother staring at old photographs. Would you like to try a real game? He asked. Yes, please. They set up the board and started to play. Naturally, Zara lost, but something astonishing happened. She almost trapped his king in the corner. She could visualize several moves ahead, like watching a movie play. Out in her mind, after the game, Mr. Blake stared at the board in silence. Then he looked at Zara with those soft blue-gray eyes. Zara, would you like to come back tomorrow for another game? Can I, Mama? Zara asked, eyes sparkling with hope. Maria nodded, though her expression was uneasy. If Mr. Blake is... Sure, I'm certain, Mr. Blake smiled. Same time tomorrow. Yes, sir. Zara bounced happily in her chair. But as they left the mansion that evening, she couldn't shake the feeling that something big had happened. The way Mr. Blake looked at her, it was like he'd seen a ghost. And his face, something about it felt familiar. Like someone from a distant memory Zara couldn't place, but knew she should recognize. That night, lying in her small bed, Zara stared at the ceiling, her thoughts racing. She pictured the golden king and silver queen gliding across the marble chessboard. In her mind, Mama. She called softly. Maria appeared in the doorway. What is it, sweetheart? Do I remind you of anyone? Maria's face went still. What do you mean? People sometimes say I look like someone, but they never tell me who. And today? Mr. Blake looked at me weird, like he knew me. You look like you, Maria replied, her voice tight. That's what matters. Go to sleep now. But Zara noticed her mother didn't turn on the hallway light like she normally did. Instead, Maria sat on the old couch for a long time, staring at something she held in her hands. The next day couldn't arrive fast enough for Zara. At school, her mind drifted far from the classroom. Zara, what's 8 times 7? Her teacher, Mrs. Rodriguez, asked. 56, Zara replied quickly. But her thoughts were with knights and pawns. When school ended, she practically sprinted to her mother's car. Someone's excited, Maria remarked with a small smile. Can we go to Mr. Blake's now? Please? We're going, baby. But remember, be polite, and don't get too hopeful. What do you mean, rich folks? They sometimes make promises they don't keep. If he's too busy today, don't. Be upset. But Mr. Blake wasn't too busy. He was waiting in the library, the chessboard ready. Good afternoon, Zara, he greeted warmly. Up for another game? Yes, sir. This time Zara lasted longer. She managed to capture 2 pawns and even placed his king in check. Brilliant. Move, Mr. Blake praised when she moved her bishop. It's like a movie in my head, Zara explained. I can see where the pieces want to go. Mr. Blake went quiet, observing her. Been practicing at home? No, sir. We don't have a chess set. But I think about it before I fall asleep. You imagine new moves, how to protect your king, set traps for mine. Mr. Blake's hand froze over the chessboard. Zara, do you dream about chess? Sometimes, Last night I dreamed the pieces were dancing, but they followed rules. Like a special dance only they knew. A flicker passed through Mr. Blake's eyes. What else do you dream about? Sometimes, about having a daddy, Zara admitted softly. In my dreams, he teaches me things. We play games together. Maria, nearby dusting shelves, dropped her cloth. Both Zara and Mr. Blake looked over, but she quickly picked it up and kept cleaning. What does your dream daddy look like? Mr. Blake asked gently. Zara wrinkled her nose, deep in thought. He has soft eyes, gray hair, and he smiles a lot, she said slowly. Then she hesitated. Sort of like you, I think. Mr. Blake's expression turned ghostly pale. Clearing his throat awkwardly, he stood up abruptly. Should probably finish your homework now, he told her. Same time tomorrow? Yes, please, Zara replied eagerly. But as they made their way to the car, Zara noticed Mr. Blake standing by his huge window, watching them. His face looked strangely torn between sadness and joy. From that day on, chess became their daily habit. Every afternoon after school, Zara would sit across the grand chessboard from Mr. Blake and lose herself in the game's magic. And with every passing day, she grew sharper. At the end of the first week, she was capturing more of his pieces. By week 2, she was setting sneaky traps. On the 15th day, something incredible happened. Checkmate, Zara whispered, staring down at the board, her eyes wide with disbelief. Mr. Blake leaned back, smiling warmly. Well done, Zara. That was a masterpiece. I won. I really won. You truly won, he confirmed. And it wasn't luck. You planned that 5 moves back. Zara's chest felt ready to burst with excitement. She had beaten Mr. Blake at chess. Can we play again now? She asked breathlessly. Of course he agreed. That afternoon, they played 3 more matches. Zara claimed victory in 2 of them. That evening, after Maria and Zara had gone home, Mr. Blake sat alone in his grand library. He picked up his phone and dialed. Dr. Chen, it's Harrison Blake. I'd like you to come to my house tomorrow. There's a child I think you should meet. What kind of child? Dr. Chen inquired. The rarest kind? The once-in-a-lifetime kind? Meanwhile, in their tiny apartment, Zara helped her mother prepare dinner. She chatted excitedly about chess moves and sneaky strategies, but noticed her. Mother looked far away, lost in thought. Mama, are you okay? Zara asked gently. I'm fine, sweetheart, just tired. That night, Zara got up for some water. In the kitchen, she found her mother sitting quietly at the table, holding an old shoebox. Inside were faded photographs and bundled letters tied with a worn ribbon. Mama, what's that? Maria hurriedly closed the box. Just old pictures, honey. Go back to sleep. But Zara had caught a glimpse of one photo. It showed a young Maria, standing beside a tall man with gray hair and warm blue eyes. A man that looked familiar. Mama, who was that man beside you? Zara asked, puzzled. Maria's hands trembled slightly. What man? The man in the photo? Looked like Zara paused, confused by the ache in her chest. Like someone. I should know. There's no man, Zara. You're imagining things. Go to bed. But Zara couldn't forget the image. As she lay in bed, her mind circled the memory, the man with gray hair, kind eyes, the gentle smile, the same eyes that stared back at her in the mirror every morning. Across town in the mansion's library, Mr. Blake sat holding the exact same photograph. A younger version of himself stood beside Maria, both of them smiling, carefree. On his desk sat another picture, a small black and white ultrasound with the words Baby Thompson written at the bottom. A single tear traced down his cheek as he whispered, my daughter, my brilliant, beautiful daughter. The following morning, Mr. Blake paced his library like a restless tiger. He hadn't slept a wink. Today, Dr. Lisa Chen would visit to watch Zara play chess. Dr. Chen wasn't just any teacher. She was the best in the country. She had coached 3 world champions and uncovered more young prodigies than anyone alive. But what if he was wrong? What if Zara was just a smart, curious kid? What if Dr. Chen thought he was imagining things? But then, he remembered yesterday the sparkle in Zara's eyes as she declared checkmate. Her ability to see moves most adults overlooked. No, This wasn't in his head. Zara was remarkable.
At school.
Zara couldn't focus. During math, she doodled chess pieces in her notebook margins. During reading, she pictured the story characters, playing chess. Even at lunch, she nudged her food around like chess pieces. "Zara, you're being weird today," her friend Emma remarked. "What's going on with you?" "Nothing. I'm just thinking about chess." Emma scrunched her nose. "That boring game with horses and castles? Why do you care?" Zara wanted to explain. Chess wasn't boring, it was magic. Every piece had its own personality, its own power. The board was a whole other world, full of possibilities. But how could she make Emma understand? "It's just fun," she finally said. When the final bell rang, Zara practically flew from the classroom. Her mother waited by the car, looking anxious. "Zara, Mr. Blake has a visitor today, a lady who knows a lot about chess." "Really? What's her name?" "It's Dr. Chen. She might want to see you play." Butterflies swirled in Zara's stomach. Was she going to test me? "I'm not sure, sweetheart. Just play like always." At the mansion, they entered the library where Mr. Blake stood with a petite Asian woman. She wore a sharp blue suit and carried a briefcase. Her eyes sparkled with intelligence. "Zara," Mr. Blake introduced, "this is Dr. Chen. She's a chess teacher." Dr. Chen shook Zara's hand.
Hello, Zara.
"Harrison tells me you've been learning chess?" "Yes, ma'am. It's really fun." Dr. Chen smiled gently, but Zara sensed she was being studied closely. "Would you like to play with me?" Zara glanced at Mr. Blake, who gave an encouraging nod. Okay, they sat at the stunning marble chess set. Dr. Chen set up the pieces with practiced ease. She had clearly done this thousands of times. "I'll play white," Dr. Chen declared. "You can go first." Zara advanced her king's pawn to spaces the opening Mr. Blake had taught her. Dr. Chen responded with her own move, then leaned back, watching. She expected a simple, childish match. Most kids Zara's age moved pieces like toys without understanding. But Zara's next moves made Dr. Chen sit up straighter. Zara had a plan. Her knights leapt to powerful positions. Her bishops aimed at Dr. Chen's king like silent arrows. Each move flowed logically from the last. "Interesting," Dr. Chen murmured after 5 moves. By the 10th, she leaned in, intrigued. This little girl played better than some teenagers. Dr. Chen's heart skipped. Zara had built a flawless attack aimed right at her king. "Check," Zara whispered. Dr. Chen slid her king to safety, but the assault continued. Every piece worked together perfectly. 10 moves later, Dr. Chen saw the unavoidable truth she was about to lose. To an 8-year-old, checkmate. Zara breathed, hardly believing it herself. Dr. Chen stared at the board in silence for a full minute. Then her wide eyes met Zara's. That's impossible. Did I mess up?" Zara asked softly, afraid she'd made a mistake. "No, sweetheart," Dr. Chen smiled in awe. "You did something incredible." She opened her briefcase and pulled out a hefty chess puzzle book full of problems that challenged even masters. "Zara, I want to show you some positions. Tell me how white can win in each." She showed the first puzzle. Most adults took 20 minutes. Zara studied it for 30 seconds. "The knight goes here," she pointed. "The king can't escape."
Dr. Chen's
jaw dropped. Exactly right. She gave her harder puzzles, even harder. Zara solved them all, some within seconds. Dr. Chen turned to Mr. Blake. "May I speak with you privately?" They walked to the library's far side. Zara pretended to focus on the board, but she listened intently. "This child is extraordinary," Dr. Chen whispered. "I've been coaching chess for 25 years, and never have I witnessed raw ability like this." "What does that imply?" Mr. Blake inquired. "It suggests she has the potential to become a chess champion. With proper guidance, she could compete among the world's elite players. She could gain recognition, but she's only 8. The greatest chess masters often begin young. Bobby Fischer became a master at 13. Some grandmasters demonstrated their brilliance even earlier." Zara felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. She didn't entirely grasp what they were discussing, but it clearly seemed significant. What would that involve for her? Mr. Blake asked. Competitions, coaching, traveler, completely new life. Zara noticed her mother standing quietly in the doorway, holding her cleaning tools. Maria's face had gone pale, and her hands trembled. Slightly, could we play one more game? Zara asked Dr. Chen. She didn't want to think about contests and trips. She simply wanted to enjoy chess. Of course, sweetheart. They played 2 additional matches. Zara won both. As they left that evening, Mr. Blake walked with Maria to the car while Zara skipped ahead cheerfully.
Maria, we need to discuss Zara's
future, he said softly. Maria halted. What do you mean? She possesses a gift, a rare ability. She could be granted opportunities most children only dream about. She's merely a little girl who enjoys a game. No, Maria, she's far beyond. That Mr. Blake's tone remained gentle, yet resolute. And deep down, I believe you sense that. Maria's hands quivered as she opened the car door. I need to go home. Maria, hold on. Mr. Blake's voice softened, but carried weight. There's something else we need to talk about, regarding Zara's father. Maria froze like a statue. Her whole body tensed. I don't understand what you're implying. I think you do. Maria quickly climbed into the car and started the engine. But as they drove off, Zara spotted Mr. Blake standing in the driveway. Through her side mirror, he looked sad and alone under the tall streetlight. Mama, why did Mr. Blake want to bring up my father? I don't know, sweetheart, but you don't have a father. Maria remained silent for a while. Eventually, when she spoke, her voice wavered. Everyone has a father, Zara. Sometimes they just can't be with us. Why can't mine be with us? It's complicated, honey. You'll understand someday when you're older. That night, Zara lay in bed, thinking about chess puzzles, fathers, and the peculiar look Mr. Blake had given. Her mother, something significant was happening. Something only adults seemed to comprehend, but she didn't. For the first time since learning chess, Zara felt a flicker of fear. The following week, Dr. Chen returned with news that would change everything. There's a children's chess competition next month, she announced, placing a colorful flyer on the marble chess table. I want Zara to enter. Zara glanced at the flyer, displayed children her age seated at chessboards in a grand, elegant room. The words Young Champions Chess Tournament were written across the top in gold. She's just 8 years old, Maria protested quickly. The other kids will be older. In chess, age doesn't matter, Maria, Dr. Chen explained calmly. What matters is skill, and Zara has more natural skill than I've seen in 2 decades of coaching. Mr. Blake leaned forward in his chair. I believe we should give her the opportunity. It's not your place to decide, Maria snapped. The room fell completely silent. Everyone, including Zara, stared at Maria, her cheeks flushed and her fists clenched tightly. Sorry, Maria murmured, looking embarrassed. I don't want her to get hurt. Mom, I want to try, Zara whispered. Chess is fun. Maybe playing with other kids will be fun too. Maria gazed at her daughter's hopeful face and sighed.
They cried.
If you truly want to, sweetheart, I do. I really, really do. 3 weeks later, they drove to the large city for the competition. Zara had never seen anywhere so fancy. The hotel was enormous, with polished marble floors and sparkling crystal chandeliers hanging like frozen fireworks. Stay close to me, Maria whispered, gripping Zara's hand tightly.
Why are you so nervous?
Mama, I just don't want anything bad to happen to you. What bad could happen? It's just chess. But when they entered the tournament hall, Zara understood her mother's concern. Dozens of chessboards were perfectly arranged in rows. Children aged 8 to 16 sat at tables, looking focused and confident. Some had coaches whispering advice into their ears. I don't belong here, Zara whispered to her mother. Yes, you do, came a familiar voice from behind. Zara turned to see Mr. Blake approaching with Dr. Chen. He carried a small bag and wore a warm smile. You belong here more than anyone, he stated firmly. But look at all these kids. They seem so smart and serious. So do you, and you're even smarter than you realize. Dr. Chen guided them to a table where a tournament official checked names on a long list. Zara Thompson, the man asked. That's me, Zara replied softly. You're our youngest competitor this year. Good luck. Zara's first opponent was a 12-year-old boy named Marcus, last year's champion. He had brown hair, sharp brown eyes, and a shirt that read Chess Champion. Marcus chuckled when he saw Zara. They let babies play now. I'm not a baby. Zara answered politely. Might as well be. This will be done in 10 minutes. They sat at the chessboard. Marcus arranged his pieces swiftly like he'd done it countless times. Zara positioned hers carefully, recalling Mr. Blake's advice too. Treat each piece with respect. You go first, Marcus said, sounding uninterested. Zara advanced her king's pawn to squares. Marcus moved his piece quickly, barely glancing at the board. But as the match continued, Marcus no longer looked bored. Zara's pieces flowed across. The board like dancers, each move served a purpose. Each piece cooperated like a well-trained team. What the? Marcus muttered, staring at the game. A crowd gathered around, whispering. Something unusual was unfolding. She's only 8. Look at that move. Incredible. 20 minutes later, Zara slid her queen forward and whispered, Checkmate. The room went silent. Marcus gaped at the board, stunned. You defeated me, he stammered. You played really well, Zara replied kindly. Thank you for the game. For the first time, Marcus smiled. That was the best match I've ever had, even though I lost. You're going to be famous someday. Zara won her second match against a 10-year-old girl from Texas. Then her third against a 13-year-old boy from New York. Then her fourth against a girl who had been playing chess since age 5. Who is that kid? People whispered. Where did she come from? She makes it look effortless. But during her 5th game, something sad occurred. Her opponent, a 9-year-old girl named Sarah, had trained for months for the event. When Zara won, Sarah burst into tears. I practiced every day, Sarah sobbed. I studied chess books, worked with a coach, and you make it seem like a game. Zara's heart sank. She hadn't wanted to upset anyone. You played wonderfully. Zara said gently. I could tell you worked hard. It doesn't matter. You're naturally better than everyone. Maybe we could be friends? Zara offered. I don't have many friends who love chess. Sarah stopped crying, surprised. You want to be my friend? Yes, you seem really nice. And you love chess like me. Sarah smiled through her tears. I'd like that. After 6 games, Zara led the tournament. She hadn't lost once. The tournament official announced she was the youngest player ever to reach the finals that night. In their hotel room, Maria watched Zara sleep. Gentle knock sounded. Mr. Blake stood at the door. Shh, she's remarkable, Maria, he whispered. The chess world can't stop talking about her. I know, it's what worries me. Why? This could transform her life. The finest education, world travel, is meeting extraordinary people. Maria turned toward him, eyes glistening with tears. Harrison, we can't keep pretending. Pretending what? Do you know what? Look at her. Truly, look. Mr. Blake's face turned pale. Maria, she has your eyes. Your way of solving problems, your ability to spot patterns others miss. Are you saying what I think? I'm saying it's time to tell her the truth. Mr. Blake slumped into the chair by the window.
How long?
Have you known? Since the first day you offered to teach her chess? You didn't choose my daughter by chance? You recognized her. She's my daughter too, isn't she? Maria nodded, tears falling freely. She's your daughter too. They sat silently, watching Zara sleep peacefully. Tomorrow, she would play in the championship final. Tomorrow. She could possibly become the youngest champion in chess history. But tonight, 2 parents sat together, finally prepared to reveal to their daughter the truth about her real identity. The following morning was the final match of the tournament. Zara woke up feeling excited, but something seemed unusual. Her mother was sitting near the window, still wearing the same clothes from the day before. Her eyes were red, as though she'd been crying. Mama, are you all right? Zara asked. Maria attempted to smile, but it appeared unsteady. We need to talk, sweetheart. You, me, and Mr. Blake. right now, but the tournament starts in 2 hours. Maria's voice softened. This is more important than chess. Zara felt her stomach twist tightly. Whenever adults said something was more important than what you loved the most, it usually meant something bad. They gathered in Mr. Blake's hotel room. It was much larger than their own, with a fancy sofa and a wide view of the entire city. Mr. Blake looked just as exhausted as Maria. His gray hair was messy, and he kept running his fingers through it. "Zara, please sit down, sweetheart," he said softly. "Yeah." Zara sat on the large sofa, positioned between her mother and Mr. Blake. The room felt strangely quiet, like everyone was holding their breath. "Remember when you asked me about your father?" Maria began. Zara nodded. She had asked that question many times, but her mother always said they would discuss it when she got older. "Well, I wasn't completely truthful with you." "What do you mean?" Zara asked. Maria reached inside her purse and pulled out the old photograph Zara had briefly seen that night in the kitchen. The one showing the young man who had looked familiar. "This is your father." Zara held the picture with trembling hands. She carefully studied the young man's face. He had soft gray eyes and a warm smile. He appeared happy, standing next to her mother, but this looks like Mr. Blake when he was younger. "Because it is Mr. Blake," Maria whispered. The room spun around Zara like a spinning carousel. She looked at the picture, then at Mr. Blake, then back again. "Mr. Blake is my father." Mr. Blake's eyes filled with tears. He slowly lowered himself from his chair and knelt before Zara, gently taking her small hands in his. "Yes, sweetheart, I'm your father. I've wanted to tell you for so long, but why didn't you?" Zara asked. Maria began crying again, because I was afraid. 9 years ago, your father and I worked together. I was his assistant, and he was my boss. We fell in love, but I feared people would think I only cared about his money. "He never cared about my money," Mr. Blake said firmly. "We're the kindest, smartest, and most beautiful person I had ever known. When I discovered I was going to have you," Maria continued, "I felt overjoyed, but then I became frightened. What if people said you weren't good enough for his world?
What if?
They said cruel things about us." "So you left," Mr. Blake said sadly. "You vanished with Zara, and I searched for you for years. I wanted you to have a normal life," Maria told Zara. "Away from all the money, the pressure, and people always watching you." Zara stayed quiet for a long time, thinking carefully, like she did in her chess games. She stared at Mr. Blake's face, really noticing it for the first time. He had the same nose as hers, and he tilted his head in the exact way she did when she was thinking. "Is that why I'm good at chess? Because you're my dad and you're smart." Mr. Blake smiled through his tears. "Maybe, but mostly you're good because you are special all on your own. Are you angry with me for not telling you sooner?" Maria asked, her voice trembling. "Angry?" Zara paused to think. "No, but I'm sad. I always wanted a daddy, and you were right here the whole time. I'm so sorry, baby." "And are you mad at me?" Zara asked Mr. Blake. "Mad? Oh, sweetheart. I could never be angry with you. You're the best thing that's ever happened to me." Zara looked back and forth between her parents. "So you gave Mama the job so you could be near me?" Mr. Blake looked embarrassed. "I found out where you lived. I knew your mom needed work, and I thought if I hired her, I could get to know you without scaring you. That's why you wanted to teach me chess. I wanted to spend time with you. Never expected you'd be so amazing at it." Zara sat silently again, processing everything like a complicated chess puzzle. Then she said something surprising. "Can I still call you Mr. Blake? Saying daddy feels strange right now. You can call me whatever makes you feel comfortable. Okay? And can we keep playing chess every day? Every day for the rest of our lives, if you like?" "Good." Zara smiled for the first time that morning. "But I have one more question." "What is it? If you're my daddy and Mama is my mama, does that mean we're a family now?" "Die." Mr. Blake and Maria glanced at each other. They hadn't yet discussed what would happen next. "We're figuring it out," Maria said carefully. "I want us to be a family," Zara said firmly. "But I want to take it slow, like learning a new chess opening. You need practice before you get good at it." "That's very wise," Mr. Blake said. "And I want to keep my name Zara Thompson." Maybe one day I'll become Zara Thompson Blake. But right now, I'm proud to be a Thompson. Maria cried again, but these tears were happy ones. You're such a smart little girl. Get it from both of you, Zara said plainly. A knock on the door interrupted them. It was Dr. Chen. Sorry to interrupt, but the tournament starts in 1 hour. Are you ready, Zara? Zara looked at both her parents, both of them, and smiled. I'm ready. Let's go show everyone what a Thompson girl can do. Thompson girl? Mr. Blake asked, raising an eyebrow.
Oh, that's right.
And maybe, Zara added with a playful grin, what a Blake girl can do too. As they walked towards the tournament hall, Zara felt completely different. Not because she was about to play the most important chess game of her life, but because, for the very first time, she had her whole family beside her. The fear from the night before was gone. Instead, she felt like a chess piece that had finally found its rightful place on the board strong. It's protected and ready for anything. But first, she had a tournament to win. Let's go play some chess, she said, holding both her parents' hands. And for the first time in 9 years, Harrison Blake, Maria Thompson, and their daughter Zara walked together as a family. The tournament room buzzed with excitement. News reporters crowded the entrance. With large cameras and microphones, word had spread about the 8-year-old chess prodigy playing in her first championship final. How do you feel about playing for the title? A reporter asked, pushing a microphone near Zara's face. Zara looked up with her big gray eyes. Feel nervous, but also excited. Chess is like solving puzzles, and I love puzzles. Do you think you can beat someone 8 years older than you? I don't know, but I'll do my best. Her opponent in the final was David Martinez, a 16-year-old chess champion from California. He was tall, with black hair and intense, dark eyes. He had already won 5 major tournaments and was being called a future grandmaster. I don't want to hurt the little girl's feelings, David told the reporters, but this is serious. I've been training for this my whole life. In the warm-up room, Dr. Chen helped Zara get ready for the most important game of her life. Remember everything we practiced? Dr. Chen said gently. Don't think about winning or losing. Just play your best chess. But Zara seemed distracted. She kept glancing at the audience where her parents sat together for the first time. Everything felt different now that she knew the truth. Are you okay? Dr. Chen asked. I think so. But Dr. Chen, what if I lose? Then you lose. You're only 8 years old, and you've already made it to the finals of a major tournament. That's amazing, no matter what happens. What if I let everyone down? Zara, look at me. Dr. Chen knelt down until they were eye to eye. You could lose every chess game for the rest of your life, and you'd still be incredible. Chess isn't what makes you special. You make chess special. Zara smiled for the first time that day. Thank you. Now are you ready to go have some fun? Yes, let's play chess. The tournament director called for silence as Zara and David sat at the championship board. The room was packed with hundreds of people, all watching the little girl who had defeated every challenger so far. David quickly set up his pieces, confident and ready. He'd competed in rooms like this many times before. Zara arranged her pieces more slowly, gently touching each one like greeting old friends. Good luck, David said, offering his hand. Good luck to you too, Zara replied, shaking his hand. The tournament director started the official clock. Let the championship game begin. David played white, so he moved first. He advanced his king's pawn to squares, a classic opening used for centuries by chess players. Zara answered by moving her own king's pawn forward. Everything seemed normal so far. But as the game continued, something extraordinary unfolded. This wasn't just chess, it was art. David attacked aggressively, aiming for quick victories and trying to overwhelm Zara. He believed if he applied enough pressure, she would eventually make mistakes, like most young players. But Zara didn't falter. She played with calm precision, like a conductor leading a beautiful orchestra. Her chess pieces moved in perfect harmony, each one protecting the others. Unbelievable, someone whispered in the crowd. She's not playing like a child. Look at that combination. After 1 hour, the game remained perfectly balanced. David began to sweat. This wasn't supposed to be this difficult. He had been a champion of tournaments. She was simply an 8-year-old child. Yet, Zara was not like other children her age. She was an artist on the chessboard, creating brilliant works across the 64 squares. Among the spectators, Maria tightly squeezed Harrison's hand. "She's incredible," Maria said. "She got this from her mother," Harrison softly replied. "No, this comes from both of us." The match pushed forward for another hour. Neither side could claim an advantage. David was performing at the peak of his ability, and so was Zara. In the third hour, Zara suddenly spotted something that made her chest thump. A surprising sequence of moves David would never predict. It was a gamble. Failure meant a quick defeat, but success would change the game. She carefully picked up her queen and placed it on a risky square. David stared, puzzled. What was her plan? The move seemed like an error. He spent 15 minutes examining every possibility, searching for a hidden danger, but he saw no threat. Eventually, he shifted his king to a square that appeared safe. Zara quietly slid her bishop forward. "Check," she whispered. David's eyes grew large. Now he saw everything. The snare had been prepared several moves earlier, and he had unknowingly stepped right into it, moved his king to its only remaining. "Escape?" Zara smoothly moved her knight. "Checkmate," she softly said. The entire hall erupted. The audience stood, clapping, cheering wildly. Camera flashes burst like storms. Reporters fired questions. But Zara noticed only two things: David's warm smile as he reached to shake her hand, and her parents running towards her, happy tears on their faces. "That was the finest game I've ever played," David told her. "You will surely become world champion someday." "Thank you for the game," Zara replied. "We learned so much from you." The tournament organizer handed Zara a trophy nearly as tall as she was, along with a prize check of $10,000. "Zara Thompson is just 8 years old. You are now the youngest champion in tournament history." The crowd's applause grew louder. Zara stared wide-eyed at the oversized check. "Is this real money?" she asked. Harrison chuckled. "It's very real." "What do you want to do with it?" Zara paused, glancing at the chessboards and the many kids who had given their all.
Can we buy
"Chess sets for kids who don't have them so they can learn too." The journalists adored her answer. They quickly jotted notes and captured more pictures of the little girl who wanted to share her gift with others. That evening, they celebrated at the hotel's restaurant. Zara sitting between her parents, still wearing her shiny tournament medal, beamed with joy. "I can't believe I actually won," she repeated for the 10th time. "I can," Maria told her. "You were wonderful. We're so proud of you," Harrison added. Zara eventually dozed off at the table, tired but overjoyed. Her parents shared a quiet look. "Her life will change now," Maria softly said. "People will want to coach her, sponsor her, make her a star." "Only if that's what she wants," Harrison answered. "She's still a little girl who happens to love chess." "But she's our little girl now," Maria replied. "She always was. Just never got the chance to be her father until today." "So what's next?" Maria asked. Harrison smiled, watching their daughter sleep peacefully. "Now we figure out how to become the family we were always meant to be." Outside the windows, the city lights sparkled like stars. Inside, a once broken family had finally become whole. Tomorrow would be the beginning of their new journey, step by step. 3 months later, life had taken a new shape for the Thompson-Blake family. Zara still lived with her mom in their cozy apartment, but now Harrison visited every day. They were moving slowly, rebuilding their bond with patience, one talk at a time. "Good morning, sunshine," Harrison greeted as he entered the kitchen, where Zara sat eating breakfast. "Good morning, Dad." The word now came easily. She had started calling him Dad 2 weeks ago when it finally felt natural, no longer strange. Each time, it filled Harrison's heart with joy. They had set up a grand chess room in Harrison's mansion with marble boards and crystal chess pieces. But Zara's favorite place to play remained the small kitchen table in her mother's apartment. "It feels more like home here," she had explained when asked why. Maria stepped out, ready for work. She had a new job, not as a housekeeper, but as Harrison's assistant again. This time, though, everything was different. Now they were partners in raising their daughter. "Ready for school, baby?" Maria asked, almost Dad and I are finishing our morning puzzle. Dr. Chen visited twice a week to sharpen Zara's chess abilities. Top chess masters worldwide wished to train her. TV shows wanted to feature her. Tournaments across the nation invited her to compete. But Zara's parents had made a decision together. "I want to stay in regular school with my friends," Zara had said confidently. "Chess is fun, but I love other things too. I want to explore science, art, and books. I want to play at recess and have lunch with Emma." "Are you sure?" Harrison asked. "Could have the world's best chess coaches. I already have the best chess teacher." Zara had smiled at him. So Zara remained at Lincoln Elementary, walking taller, smiling brighter. Her teacher, Mrs. Rodriguez, noticed right away. "She's more confident now," she told Maria on parent-teacher night. "She speaks up in class and helps her classmates. It's like she's found something she was missing." "She found her father," Maria said quietly. At recess, Zara taught her friends chess using a small magnetic set Harrison had given her. Soon nearly half of the third grade knew the basics. "You made chess cool," Emma said. "For you, I thought it was just an old, boring game." "Chess isn't boring," Zara laughed. "It's like battling with your mind, not your fists." Fame, however, had its challenges. Sometimes reporters called the school. Sometimes strangers recognized her in stores. Many expected her to always be mature and serious. "I don't like all this attention," Zara told her parents one evening. "I just want to be a regular kid who happens to be good at chess." "You don't owe anyone anything you don't want to give," Harrison assured her. "Being good at chess doesn't mean the world owns you. You belong to us. But people say I have a duty to compete more and become famous." "Your only duty is to be happy and healthy," Maria said firmly. "Everything else is extra." One day, a very special guest arrived. His name was Grandmaster Petrov, the current world chess champion. He had flown from Russia just to meet Zara. "Wanted to see the little girl everyone's talking about," he said, in his thick accent. They played a match in Harrison's library. Zara lost, but she played brilliantly and learned 3 valuable strategies. "You have a special gift," Petrov told her afterward, "not just for winning, but for making chess joyful. Your style is natural and creative. Never let anyone change that." "Will you teach me more?" Zara asked eagerly. "No," Petrov said, surprising. "Them all. You don't need lessons. You need to keep playing. Play with happiness, not pressure. Play because you love it, not because you must." Later, sitting on the couch with her parents in their snug living room, Zara said, "I've been thinking I really want to keep playing chess, but on my terms." "What's your way?" Harrison asked. "I want to have fun. I want to help other kids learn. I want to spend time with my family. I want to go to school, have friends, maybe learn piano too." "That sounds perfect," Maria smiled. "And maybe," Zara added with a playful grin, "I want to beat Dad more often, so he doesn't get too proud. You already beat me most of the time." Harrison laughed. "I know, but sometimes I let you win, so you don't feel bad." They laughed so much, their stomachs ached. 6 months later, Zara started something that changed many lives. She convinced her school to create a chess club that met every Friday in the library. Kids from 1st to 5th grade gathered around small boards, learning, playing, and enjoying. Some were naturals, some struggled, but all were welcome. "Chess teaches you to think ahead," Zara told the group. "But it also teaches you losing is okay. When you lose, you learn and try again." Harrison stood in the doorway, pride filling his heart. "She's going to change the world," Dr. Chen said beside him. "She's already changed mine," Harrison replied. The chess club kept growing. Other schools wanted their own. Zara visited them, teaching basics and encouraging play. She even convinced a toy company to donate chess sets to schools in need. "Every kid should have the chance to try chess," she said in a TV interview. "You never know who might fall in love with it." That night at home, the family created a new game called Family Chess. Instead of competing, they worked together, taking turns solving chess puzzles as one team. "Tough puzzle, why?" Maria asked. "Because in this game, we all win together." Snow began falling softly outside. Inside their warm apartment, A family that almost lost each other played joyfully by the fireplace. Zara moved a knight to a clever square, and Harrison showed her an even better move. Maria brought hot chocolate topped with extra marshmallows. Watching her daughter's eyes light up. "I love you both so much," Zara suddenly said, looking up from the board. "We love you too, sweetheart," they replied together. Harrison pulled both his girls close. "We're the luckiest family in the world." "Not lucky," Zara corrected wisely. "We just finally figured out how to play the game right." In that moment, surrounded by chess pieces on the coffee table and soft snowfall outside, they knew the greatest victories don't happen in tournaments. They happen in kitchens and living rooms, with laughter, love, and the hope of tomorrow. Zara Thompson Blake, age 8, chess champion and extraordinary daughter, was exactly where she belonged, home. Sometimes life's most meaningful moves aren't on chessboards, but in the quiet choices where families choose to love one day at a time. A daughter who finally found her complete family. The most beautiful wins don't always happen under bright lights, but in simple, loving moments when people come together.